And now she's saying, I want you to strongly consider doing what I do and being able to help people. God's telling me to share this with you for some reason. And I said it would be an absolute honor.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm getting emotional.
Well, so am I. So
And
you're not alone.
and I pinky promised her that I would get us a house someday. And that our pinky promises we don't break.
Thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Serve the People podcast. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your time to develop and grow with us. Follow us, please, on all our social media platforms at Family First Life Tri-State or FFL Tri-State. We love you. Keep listening, and I hope this information is serving you across the country. All right, everybody, thank you for jumping on with us for our Tri-State Trends podcast. My girl, Christy Wolf, is with me today from FFL Believe, out there crushing it, getting rolling. I got a chance to meet you, Christy, at the annual convention, and you had as much energy as anyone I've ever met. And then I got a chance to see you again a few weeks ago in Chicago, which was amazing. And you're now laying down the tracks to a very successful life insurance career, and I'm excited to have you on. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing just as fantastic. You stole my word, but I'm going to take it anyway because I'm doing unbelievable. So I appreciate you jumping on with me. And what some people know and some people don't know is that Christy Wolf is Mindy Tibbs' sister. Now, are you younger or older?
I'm older, yeah.
Okay, so she's your sister.
She's my sister.
Let's get it
we
right.
Need to get that clear.
Let's get it right. For the record, the Tri-State Trends is now setting new records. Let's set the record straight. But we got it. So how are you? How long have you been with Family First? And tell us a little bit about your backdrop so we can kind of get up to speed on who you are.
Sure, absolutely. So I got my license in December of 2021, and January is when I really started with Family First Life. I would say probably about the third week in January. I was working 3 jobs as a single mom, sole supporter. I had been with, a certain company for about 10 years, just working as a paralegal. And then my other 2 jobs, I was picking lice out of people's hair, just trying to make ends meet.
Wow.
And then I decided after the annual convention in February to go full time with Family First Life. I had seen that this was such a powerful way to help people and to be able to help change my daughters and my life. And I went full time in the middle of March 16th to be exact. And I've been going full time, ever since for almost, the last 3 months.
Nice. Did you transition out of the job through helping families with life insurance, or did you just go full throttle?
I transitioned out. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Took me about 2 months.
Okay. Very nice. So March 16th kicked off your career. How many families did you help in the month of April?
I would probably say around 20 families.
20. Mm-hmm. And then in May?
Just under 30.
Haha. And now we're 2 weeks into June. How many families did you help the first week of June, and how many families did you help the second week of June?
I know this last week I just submitted my numbers. 7 families.
And then I thought it was like 8 families last week.
Yes, that's correct.
So we have the makings of consistency and high-level consistency. So that's pretty awesome. Can you walk us through what your transition into the business was like? Leads, mindset, phone script, in-home. What was that like for you, and how did you continue to ramp it up and scale it?
Yeah, absolutely. My first day that I went out into the field, I had scheduled one appointment, or the day before, let's talk about that. It was a 12-hour dial day. I sat in that chair for 12 hours. I literally ate rice so that I would be hungry for these appointments. One time in the day, I ate that rice. No joke.
This is your mindset?
That was my mindset.
Wait. This is noteworthy. You're saying that Your dial day consisted of you starving yourself, and your meal was one bowl of rice
Correct.
a day. Can I ask you why rice?
Yeah, because I saw the sign everywhere that says humble and hungry. I said, I'm gonna be humble, I'm gonna be hungry, and I'm gonna focus in
Yo,
until
you're
I get these appointments.
oh, that's the best I've ever heard as far
Thanks.
as getting your mind right for dials. So keep going.
Yeah, so that was my first dial day. I probably called 400 people. I got two appointments. And the next day, I went to these two appointments that were an hour and a half away. I had prepped everything. I got an oil change. I got care for my daughter, did care for my dog. I went out there and they no showed me. And they were like right in the same area. And I said, nope. No way. I did not come out here for nothing.
Love it.
There's no way. And so I started knocking on all the doors in the apartment complex.
Wow.
And I said, I'm not leaving
I
until I
love it.
get to be able to help someone today. So
Love.
I knocked on these doors. I just so happened someone crossed my path. His grandmother needed insurance, life insurance. He and his sister did. And I ended up helping 5 families that day on my first day in the field.
Wow. Like I know right now, I've heard the rice story. I've heard the I'm not leaving the field until you bless me story.
That's right.
This might be the rarest trend we've had to date. So we're again breaking news here. Wow, that is fantastic. But the grit. Can you talk to someone right now, Christy, who would have just went home and is like, I would never do that. I'm too uncomfortable to knock on anyone's door or to fight for what I believe in or to fight for my future. I would never. No, not me. I'm gonna 2 no shows. I'm done. Thank you.
Yeah. My question would be why? Why did you decide to go this path? There had to be a reason. My reason was for my daughter. I looked my daughter in the eyes before I started and I said, I'm going to change our lives and the Lord's going to help me. And I pinky promised her that I would get us a house someday and that our pinky promises we don't break.
Whew.
And so I would look at someone and I would ask, why did you decide to do this? Why are you quitting? Why are you quitting? Someone out there needs your help. And I was able to help 5 people that never would have had that help for their family someday if I wouldn't have stayed.
I need to meet your parents. I can't do this anymore. I need a podcast with the Tibbs' parents. I not Tibbs's. What's your maiden name?
Wolf.
That's your Wolf. So I need to meet the Wolves. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. You guys are unbelievable. Where did I mean, you know what I love about what you're saying is you got, and I hear it from Mindy, but you just stand on principle. Like, I don't know if I've met people through the podcast, I'll say, and it does, kind of get you, these are like tearjerkers, and all I'm trying to do is interview you. But, I mean, you have a way of just pulling me into that bookshelf behind you through the camera. And I'm like, I'm just trying to have a nice conversation. You're telling me about pinky promises and this, but this is everything.
Yes, it is.
Right? This is everything. How many kids do you have?
I have one.
One. How old is your daughter?
She's 10.
10 years old.
She's my best friend.
It's fantastic. So this was real. Like, you made these decisions. This is not a game.
Right.
You didn't make the decision flippantly. This it's not a game to you.
Correct.
People
It's
need
everything. I burned the bridges. I left that corporate job behind and I said, I'm not going to have a plan B. This is everything. We're going to make this happen.
Got it. So what did it feel like that day, making a difference and in the face of, adversity, if we will? There was nothing there and you made it happen anyway.
Ah, I still remember, and I'll never forget. At the end of that day, I didn't eat all day, by the way, because I
Mm,
was so focused on helping people. And at the end of the day, I cried in my car out of
mm,
joy
mm.
because I saw it in their eyes. I was able to help their family.
Wow.
And this was, a neighborhood people probably wouldn't go to. And I had the opportunity to change their families' lives. And that feeling, I said, there's nothing like this. There's nothing like this. I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Wow.
And then when Mindy and I talked later, she said, do you understand how much that you're going to gain from this? And I said, I haven't thought about it all day. I just wanted to help people.
Wow.
And then when she told me, I sobbed and I'm like, no, because, I had been literally counting pennies to be able to get a meal for my daughter and me and, being able to pay the bills. I remember counting change in a KFC drive-through, and we got home and it felt like Thanksgiving. So this has changed our lives just in such an incredible way. And the Lord has been so good to give me this opportunity. Very grateful.
I'm, tr- I'm literally like I can't talk because if I talk I'm gonna tremor. It's a blessing to hear that. It really is. That's just fantastic. We are way past trending right now. Like I can't. This is not a trends pod. This is like a barn burner. But it's just like wow. So you see that, and then I guess everything else seemed pretty simple, right? Like we do it again, right? Like you
That's right.
know, and then you went on and helped 20 families in April, 30 families in May, and on track to help over 30 families now in June. So now that you're in this position and you're helping families, and not for nothing, Mindy helped you get your light. Like Mindy invited you to the opportunity. Did you fight her early on it, or were you like, how did it go?
I had been watching her on social media for just a little bit over a year. And I saw her post about being able to help people. And I saw these pictures of them looking so happy. But I was just so busy. I was working 80 to 100 hours a week
Wow.
with the three jobs. I never thought to reach out to her. So she reached out to me and she sent me an interview of her and Gabe Erickson.
Hmm.
And she said, watch this and tell me what you think about it.
Hmm.
So I turned it on in the car, and my daughter was in the front seat. And I'm looking at my sister at the stoplight, and I'm like, there's just no way.
Hmm.
There's no way. I couldn't fathom these numbers because, I've been struggling my whole life.
Hmm.
And a tinge of jealousy came into me because we're very competitive.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I responded and I said, "That's just incredible, Mindy. I'm so happy for you." And then she reached out. She said, "I want you to really strongly consider what I'm about to ask you."
Hmm.
And I'm like,
Only Mindy would do it
"What?"
that way.
Yes, she would. It was
Right?
very serious. And she said, "I'd really like you to come on board and I want to share the opportunity that God's given me." God, let me stop for a second. I had $6 in my bank account.
Hmm.
6. I actually took a screenshot of it because it was so pitiful. So I had $6 in my bank account and I prayed for God to help me. I said, I really need help being able to provide. And then Mindy sent me this video. And now she's saying, I want you to strongly consider doing what I do and being able to help people. God's telling me to share this with you for some reason. And I said, it would be an absolute honor.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm getting emotional.
Well, so am I. So
And
you're not alone.
an absolute honor. She said, no, 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 hold on a second. I said, no, 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 I'm going to. And she's like, but you have to work hard. I said, Mindy, I'm no stranger to hard work. I can do that. And so we started talking about the details, and I said, I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. It took me a while. I started doing my education immediately. I was working these 3 jobs, doing my education at night, just pouring myself into it so I could get this started. And it took me a little bit to save up $500 because that was, that it was difficult just because I was providing, but I knew what it was going to bring me is the opportunity to buy leads.
Mm.
And I had to end up borrowing the other 500, and I sobbed when they let me borrow it. And I bought my my first batch of leads, and then I hit the phones for 12 hours with the rice. I was just like, this is it. Let's go. Yeah.
I probably should ask that story in reverse and then on the inverse, right? Like, I'm just, I'm just trying to pick up the pieces.
I
Oh,
know. Sorry,
God.
there's a lot.
This is great stuff. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. So, you're a testament to what, I think anybody would want to be associated with, to be involved with, to have in their business, to have as a a story that it's incredible what we're doing with this in this industry, what we're doing through Family First Life, what we're doing for families, the confidence that's able to transfer to people to help them do more for their family. I can't wait till you buy that house for you and your daughter.
Oh my gosh, me too. Me
It's
too.
gonna
It's going to
happen
happen.
faster than you think, and I can't wait. That's gonna and by the way, you're just getting started, and you're gonna be. I'm about to get you on like every podcast we ever had. So don't you don't you worry. I mean, but it's just like
Thanks.
wow, It's like I love this. This is a real life situation that has really been changed due to work ethic, due to someone offering you an opportunity, due to you accepting the opportunity, due to the work ethic that you displayed, the humble and the hungriness that you've displayed, and your sheer will to get it done. And I'm definitely, I want to say I'm in awe because I just think it's so awesome what you're going to be able to do for your daughter, and what you're realizing now for yourself and your family, but what you're going to be able to do for your daughter in the next 6 to 12 months that you've never been able to do. We're gonna document this.
Awesome. Even being able to have this extra time to go on field trips with her.
Wow.
She just said to me last week, Mom, this is so nice. We actually get to do fun stuff now instead of waiting 7 months. I don't
Wow.
know where the 7 months came from, but we couldn't do anything because Mama was always working. We didn't have enough money. Chuck E. Cheese was the biggest thing that we got to do in the year. And
Wow.
just to be able to hear her say that, Mom, this is so awesome. We get to do fun things. And Mommy, I love this family time that we have together now. I'm gonna I'm gonna end up crying, but it's everything.
Yeah.
It's everything to me. And I'm so grateful for Family First Life. Thank you.
We're grateful to
Truly.
have you. And you're gonna change. Listen, I need to meet your parents.
Yes.
Tell your. I want your. I want your parents to watch this episode, and I need to meet your parents. I feel like I need to meet your
Oh,
parents.
no.
I'm just. I'm trying here, but Christy, thank you for joining us. This is this was a great episode. I learned a lot. I'm going to learn a lot more, and I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your family. I need to meet your parents. There's no more negotiation. I need to meet
Okay.
your parents, And I am in awe of you and your sister. Do you have any other siblings that I need to know about?
There's actually 5 of us.
Jesus.
We're the 2 youngest.
All right, well, let's get them all involved because I'm sure they all can punch people in the face with their words like you and Mindy. So thank you for joining us on our Tri-State Trends podcast. You will hear from Christy Wolf much, much more in the next 60 days. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you. Keep killing it. You're doing great things. God bless.